It is a building that has fallen in on itself and become what we will use in game terms as a hill. It is still so collapsed in on itself. It is now still able to support weight on these floors as people walk around on it and climb over it and go through it. But you can't. There's nothing to garrison in here anymore. It's just completely collapsed, and you now are visible to the elements shooting at you from any direction. There's a bit of cover, I guess, from these sides, but maybe we'll say that they aren't cover. Maybe we'll say the windows are blown out and you can shoot through it. I don't know. We're not in the game right now. We're just making the thing. So this is Eagle Spired Gaming. I'm your host, Crown. How are y'all doing today? I see a lot of chatter already going on before we even started. Aiden, excited to see what we missed from last week, probably. How was camp? I hope it was good. Correct, it does, and this just from seeing the thumbnail. I can't see what this Kaiser person had said about it, so maybe Aiden can light me in. I'm guessing Kaiser said that it looks like something just from seeing the thumbnail, or has come a long way. I don't know. Not quite sure. Don't know why I can't see his chat, but I can see yours. That's getting things sorted, ready to join in tonight. Mass motor pool of solar tanks ready to paint, and a Warlord Titan to build while we waiting for paint to dry. Pictures posted in Discord for yes, those are nice pictures. Anybody who wants to see the Discord, there is a link in the somewhere that you can take. It's on the profile. It's on my profile or whatever. Or ask, and I'll find it and copy paste it if you don't want to look for it yourself. Yeah, it's free Discord, free for all, free for anyone. Good times, lots of pictures in there. Not very populated, so it's still a small community, but a community nonetheless. Good evening. Hope we're all doing good. So let's catch you guys up on what's going on. First of all, I have glued it to this piece of paper. Not intentionally. I put the piece of paper down so that I didn't glue it to the table. I put, well, what happened is the insides are very, and I can't flip this over because this is a note that somebody had written me, and I don't want that note to be seen by anyone. What is it glued to there? All right, that's going to be, just rip it all up. I don't remember who it's from. Oh man, did it melt through? No, it melted. It did melt. No, it didn't melt through. Crazy. All right, so what we did is, on the inside here, I finished closing up a bunch of these gaps and stuff. Putting this piece down so that rubble can go in there. I didn't want an empty void that I had to keep filling with rubble. I might have gotten too much, and there might be some up on here where I've got this rebar going on. But I got all the little gaps and stuff are filled up. And then from there, I went and I hot glue gunned things together and joined them together. And then what I was doing from there is I glued the base to, I glued the footprint of the building to the base. I don't know which to call it. I glued the building to the, I feel like this is the footprint of the train now, but I glued it to this, to the plastic card tile that it is on, right? And, there's a lot of, because I cut out this stuff, so that it would sit flush on the ground and not sit flush on top of this, which would be weird because this isn't big enough for it to all go on. So I didn't want it on that. I wanted it to sit flush on the table. So I had carved out this little track for it to sit through and everything. And from there, I then, because I had done that, there was nothing really for this to glue to this. So what I did was I glued little bits of sprue to brace it to, and then I used that sprue goo to get the sprue goo came along good, by the way. It's not a lot of sprue goo, but it's sprue goo. I mean, I think it's pretty thick. You know, it's a little. Some parts are a little bit more liquidy, so I don't know if I could add more to it. But I mean, it works just fine, so it's fine. I'm not gonna. I don't want to mess it up. But yeah, so I just coated some sprue goo along some stuff to to brace that gap in there. I don't know if you can see that very good down in here. You know, it's kind of maybe if I zoom in a bit, you can kind of see where it's like melted to it and everything. You know, and that's because that's not actually it. It does melt this side and melts this side to bond and everything, but like a bunch of that is actually just the sprue that was already in the glue that melted to it. And then what I went ahead and did was I have braced up this side. Looks a bit orky. It's a bit spruey. I want rubble going from here up to here, and I don't want it to be just a straight wall of it. I want this rubble to have like an incline. I probably need to go a little bit more, but so I've kind of like piled it up a bit to do that. And I've piled it up in here, and this little base is glued too because that takes up a bunch of space real quick and easy. And I got a bunch of bases and everything, and I probably need to do that over here as well. I definitely need to do it here, and I need to fix this. This is very loose. This little door. Evening. Bunch of people coming in. Let's see. You're painting a bunch of tracks, all the tanks and stuff. I did read that. I just don't think I actually said anything to that. The mass motor pool, warlord. Yeah, coming along greatly. I've just lost in a single turn like 2,000 points of stuff in the big mega battle that's going on. This feels loose. I probably should do something about this too. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not risk it. I don't know. It's a little bit over here too. It's probably not that big a deal. I don't know. But I don't know the structural. I don't know how important this little wiggle is to structural integrity. Probably not in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, so I need to build up this side here and here, and a little bit, have it come down here just a little bit. I think, yeah, it really needs to be built up here because I need rubble all the way this way. So I need to build up that a bit, but this is quite an incline. I don't like how much of an incline that is. I wish it's very steep. I wish it was a little, I want it to be a little bit less steep, but so I'll work on that a bit. And then, and you see how this is very like straight line there? It's because I didn't really, the piece I was working with here, I didn't have anything. It didn't come out any. I'm wondering if I could use sprue goo to just, do it like this and just have it come out to the side a bit. There's a little bit here where it got on the paper and it kind of came out a bit. And I'm wondering if I could like use that. But and then the last thing I'm gonna do is as far as building up embarkments, building up collecting the rubble and stuff. I'm gonna do the same thing over here in this side. Because I want it to kind of slope up. Because again, I kind of really don't like the idea of this being. I really like the idea that you get on this hill and you'd be visible and exposed to everywhere. And having this side here where you're not visible is kind of not what I'm going for. But I feel like it's important that it looks like that because now it looks more. It looks more. It gives the impression that the building was taller than just this flat thing that's now covered in rubble. It makes it look like it is a large structure that has collapsed in. Where did the rest of these two floors go? And with that thought, something else I've done, I've cut this little lip here. That's right here. I cut that off here because it's not going to look right. That oh look, wall, and then suddenly it's whatever this thing is, it's not. It's like, oh, that looks like a balcony. This didn't go up higher. is what it gives the impersonation of. So I've cut this off, and what I'll do is the entire thing will be rubble there. I'm gonna have to put a little one of these braces here to kind of like show that it continued, but then I'll have to, you know, I'm gonna have to do a little bit with that. So I'm gonna probably cut over here too. I'll probably cut some of this off. I could use more of these to expand that, but I don't want to do that because then it will have it'll only further the problem of I want you to be able to see what's on this hill, and it'll also use up more of these, which, you know, I want to save that for other stuff. I need more ruins. I've learned a couple of buildings have blown up in the big mega game that we're filming, and because of those destructions, I now need more ruins, and I don't have enough ruins. This would have actually come in quite handy from one of the buildings that blew up. It's actually a little bit too big, though, but, you know, we'd make do. So, yeah, I'll need to make more ruins just in general. But this isn't a ruin. This is a hill. This is a hill that just so happens to look like ruins. That would be ruins, but they're a hill until excavation work can take place. Another thing I've been thinking about is using some spires and having it look like, you know, maybe there was a spire up here, and as the building fell down, this collapsed in. But that does block line of sight from one side to the other, so not sure if I want to do that. We'll see. I'll play around with it a bit. Yeah, let's get started on this. I need a bunch of sprue, and then I will work on that. All right, looks like Evil Cuz is painting ruins, a lot of gray for now. Gray ruins are the classic color of ruins. Bunch of this stuff. The progress on the mega battle is going, but I have discovered it is... I just had surgery a week or two ago. I've discovered that it's not comfortable for me to be reaching across the table and stuff. So it has gone slow. Like we've taken some breaks. And it looks like this is bent up a little bit, and that is not what I wanted to have happen. I'm realizing that now. Maybe I can flatten that with a book. Well, that's unfortunate. It'll be fine. It is looking good, though. Yes, thank you. You need to think about playability. Yeah. Playability is important here. I want it to look good, but I want it to be playable. I think I'll leave it like this. I don't even know if I want to... I want it to be a shallow... I don't want to go a whole thing up. Just enough to, like, cover the floor, I guess. I don't know. Give it a little bit of texture. So I'll just have it come up just a bit there. But I do need to work on this side here and here. And I think we're mostly done. We'll do a little bit of work over here. So let's start with over here for now. I need my clippers. Hairdryer to flatten the card, maybe? Ooh, good idea. Yeah, because that'll heat it up. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I wonder if it's because one of two things happened. Either A, when I set it to the side so I could pull my computer forward and play, you know, my computer goes here when I want to like play video games or something. When I set it to the side, I wonder if it was sitting up on top of something, and that gave it, you know, sitting like that for a few hours or a few days maybe, gave it a little bit of a bend. Or if and that's, you know, that's what happened. Okay, I just need to be more careful with it. My fear is that having it here and having the glue on it kind of melt, you know, a little bit of melting and heating and warping caused it to kind of curl up as this part weakened, but the other part stayed strong. So it lost its, I don't know, test it on an unused piece first. Yeah, good idea. I need to see, a hairdryer isn't something I would own. It's something that Crayola would own. So I need to see if she has one, because I don't see her with one very often, if ever. So I don't know. You know, maybe she's got one, maybe she doesn't. Where was I going to look? I was going to do this other side first. Anyway, for anyone that hasn't already, let me know. Drop in the comments what you're working on. Cover the other underside with PVA. PVA glue, like the little... I'm assuming that's what you mean. Oh, and another thing I worked on was this. This little guy here. Let's see if I can... See that. I took this little bit of wood, wood stick thing, and I carved into it a little bit, and that is going to go... See, there's this pipe right here. There's actually two of them, but I don't want them both to look the same. So this is going to go right about here. Right about here to make it, to give that somewhere to go. And I kind of cut into this part a little bit so that would hold this up for you guys. Yeah. It's turning every which way as it falls. So it'll kind of go like that, right? You can't really see it very well. And then there will be some more stuff up here and some lesser stuff up here as far as this angle. It'll be a bit of an elevation as things got caught on this. Yeah. And that one will just kind of go into nothing. I might do a little bit with that and just have it kind of stick out like that or something. This is the only thing I could find. I've got all this stuff. I've got all this stuff from Gale Force 9, and these are all too big. Like the smallest one is just too big. So that's what that's for. And we'll come over here, and I think maybe if I do this. Hey, David. I just explained everything that I've done since the last time. That's all you missed. I can't really go through that again, but basically what I'm doing now is I'm building up these sides so that when I put the PVA glue on it and then put sand and stuff down, it won't just be this flat raw wall. It'll be a more, sloped, gradual thing. It's not going to be a gradual slope at all. That's like climbing Mount Everest level of difficulty, probably. Probably harder because you're getting shot at while doing it. I don't think anyone's ever climbed Mount Everest while getting shot at. Yeah. How have you been? What have you been up to? Oh, and I'm going to need the regular glue, not the PVA glue. I'm going to see if I don't like this. It's dark right here in this corner, and that's the corner that you guys are looking at. Once it dries, it pulls back into shape. Would the PVA stick to it? Well, I'll give it a try. And it sounds like Crayola just got home. Kids have started school. They're back in school. I wanted them to finish this mega game with me before they went back to school, but I didn't want to force them to do something. They want to spend their summer vacation doing what they want to do. And if I try to force them to do Warhammer, then I will lose them from doing Warhammer. So, delicate balance and all. Kind of liking how this looks. Kind of liking the random hodgepodgeness of it, the mismatch. I've been playing a lot of Helldivers 2 lately. and I think there's a few of you that play Helldivers too as well. So maybe we can team up sometime. Um, and going through the cities and stuff is giving me some real inspiration for things to do. Uh, I also play Halo with my kids from time to time. Hey, Crayola.
Hello. Here's your paper.
Okay. Yeah. I will have to take care of that tomorrow. So I likely won't have time to take care of that today. I play Halo with the kids from time to time, and the random like here's some Marines, and that's where you get your resupplies. Gives me ideas for like scatter terrain in big 40K and stuff. Hey Scott, what am I doing? You've been here the entire time. Oh my goodness. So it gives me an idea for like if we were doing the big 40K, having like little clumps of bodies here and there to add to the table. But can't really do that as much with Legions Imperialis. You would need a lot more bodies, and B, you would need a lot of dedication. There's no, those bodies are kind of not really malleable in changing how they look. Just a little bit of glue on there to kind of connect it to a couple of places, because then I'll put sprue glue on it, and that'll really connect it all. Play together. I don't think it's time dependent for us to play independently. Oh, I read the second post first. Well, I mean, I suppose. All right, so I'm not live tomorrow, but I don't have work tomorrow. We can play tomorrow instead of live streaming tomorrow. We could play. I don't know when you play. It's schedule dependent. All right. When you were saying you need to think about playability, what were you referring to? What do I need to be worried about here? I'm not free to play until 9 p.m. GMT. Okay. My time zone is EST or EDT because it changes, apparently. I didn't realize that about my time zone. I mean, I know about the time zone stuff. I just didn't know that we had a different time zone. I didn't know that our time zone like label changed in the middle of the year. But I think I'm I think I'm minus 4 or 5. Let's see. What? It's EDT right now for daylight. I thought it was because I knew of. So right now I'm minus 4. I'm minus 4, and GMT I think is what I'm minus 4 from. So so if you can't play till 9, that would mean It's got big bugs, it's got big aliens, and it's got big robots. Everything's big. It's horrifying game. Um, yeah, so if you can't play till 9, that would be 5 my time. I mean, that's doable. It's got big bugs in you and that. Not the direction I wanted this to go, but I'll take it. What I'm probably going to want to do is get more. I'm probably going to want more sprue. Yeah, let me know. I know James likes to play too. I'll make a channel for it. Make a channel on Discord for it. Let's see, where was I? Let's just go with this piece here. Come on. Yeah, I like that. I like that way that it slopes coming down. Gives it another like angle. I don't know why I just glued that side. That's not the side that I'm putting down. Do something with this. What's the drying time with the sprue? I am not sure. I put it down and then I kind of just left it alone for. I went and did something else. I played Helldivers for a few hours. Didn't touch it for a day. So yeah, it's got a drying time for sure. I just don't know what it is. I would assume because of the saturation of it, like normally super glue will dry pretty quick, right? But you don't want to, if you're trying to use you don't use a huge amount of it. You use a much smaller amount of super glue to put two pieces together. But because of how saturated the plastic already is with sprue glue, I would think that it's going to take a longer time to set. Like back in school when you would do like Elmer's glue to put some construction paper down, that dried pretty quick. But if you then try to glue you put a big puddle of it on your hand, that takes a while to dry. like the way that looks. Need something to go in. Need something. I need something for right in these gaps here. And fill that in a little bit, because what I don't want it to do is look like there's a buildup here and then it sinks, and there's a buildup here and it sinks. I feel like that would be where it would collect higher. So I'm going to put a little bit of something in there to try to hit that. Just a little piece. Nothing too serious. Little piece or two. We'll see. I'm going to use a smaller piece for these last two sides, because there's less over there as we get further away from this bigger explosion, this bigger sink collapse. There's going to be less rubble and debris over on this side. There we go. Perfect. Yeah. There's going to be gravel and sand all over the entire thing. You're not going to be able to see this. You'll see a bit. You'll see more of this than this, but you won't see this thing here, and you won't see this here. You know, the whole thing's going to be covered. Whole thing. Whole thing. And I'm going to put a little bit more. I'll put a little bit more, like some wire in there that looks like another floor fell on top of it. It's going to be. It's gonna have a real look to it. Me and AJ are gonna try playing using the Legions Imperialis skirmish rules around 600 to 900 points. Okay, cool. Yeah, let us know how that goes. I've done a couple of small games. Nothing with any skirmish rules or anything. What are these skirmish rules you talk of? I kind of like this angle here that this thing has. Zoom in a little bit more. Kind of like this angle. Wondering if I can use that. Maybe I can. I think I'll come back just a bit with it though. Because I want this, first and foremost, I want it to come up to here. It's got to come up to at least here and here. So, and while we're at it, let's let's just cut this down. I do enjoy the larger point matches, of course. I'm going to leave this one built up like this. You'll see what I'm going to do with that later. I like the larger point games, as you can probably tell. Big games is why I'm here. But there's something nice about, it's nice to play a small game, get a game in and everything. There's a guy on YouTube has written some skirmish rules intended for newer players using the starter box armies and gradually add more. Maximal Fire, I know Maximal Fire, they do a lot of Titanicus stuff. I know they've played a Legions Imperialis, and I know Maximal Fire is not really a guy to my knowledge. I think it's more of a couple of guys. And they because I know they do what's it called, like a podcast. They do a very long podcast where the two of them talk and everything about reviewing units or whatever. But I think, and then they do they or somebody that's a part of them. I don't know. I don't know the dynamic. I'm not exactly sure. I've read their articles. They had a bunch of articles that they wrote. More in the beginning, less more recently. It's not Maximal Fire? Oh, well, Maximal Fire is a guy. Or is a group, is a people. They've got videos. They used I gave them the photos. They used some of my photos of my Dark Mechanicum or my Mechanicum, I think. I can't remember, for one of their little blogs. So they've got a blog stuff. Not so much like regular YouTube content, though. Some skirmish rules intended for newer players using the start box armies and then gradually add more, one box at a time. No, I haven't read that either. Yeah. Not exactly as tall as I was hoping it would be, but maybe I need. Do I have more pieces? I need more pieces. Random chunks like this. This is what I used all this section here. All this section is what's in my sprue kit. All right. I kind of want the straight pieces, not the squiggly. Mesh together nicer. Cut this off there. There. Just put a 750 barrel for it. Isn't Ginger Balls in the? Oh no, that's you. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Isn't that somebody in the Discord? Yeah, it's somebody in the Discord. It's you. I thought you guys were still talking about that. I not put out a 750 battle report. Are you talking about somebody else? The guy that you're talking about? Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I don't know how this is gonna work because that's hot glue gun. I don't think that's gonna glue to it. Maybe I'll do this here, and then we can kind of build up from that. I really haven't watched. I haven't seen a lot of battle reports from anybody else. Um, I'm not really searching for them though. Mac, I need to watch the. I've got it on my to watch later. I got it on my watch later. Maximal Fire did their did a battle report with Dark Mechanicum and stuff, and they got lots of Titans. So that'd be something fun to watch. Skirmish rules are homebrew, and the lads who wrote them just put out a 750 battle board. It's a good resource for new players. Good, good, good. National Fire's battle report is very pretty good, but I think it was a lot of work for them. You mean like it was a lot of work and they don't want to keep doing it, or they just put a lot of effort into it? I assume it's a lot of work. Far too many Titans to be new. It's not all of them. How big's their battle report? Is it like a 3K? You if you find that 750 battle report, let me know because I would like to do another like how to play or something, but like I'd like to do it better. Let's just keep doing that. I like that. I like the way that slopes down. I like the way these pieces kind of give me a natural little slope to work with here. Did not need to know what. something I said. Stay behind stuff for LI. Still building up solar stuff that and AJ has 4 Titans to build. Good God, I thought you guys were starting a slow army and stuff. You guys have so many Titans. Or maybe I probably already knew that you had so many Titans, but man. It's not how to play. It's not how to play Battleport. It's more of this is what a new player should initially aim for in a report. I feel like I've done something like that. I could be wrong. Oh, I did the like what to start collecting with. Have you seen the stop motion battle report? No. I have not seen a stop motion battle report. I've seen the stop motion like the toys, the something toy, the action figures. Those are cool. Still have another Warhound to build and one half painted and a Warlord still to build. You have. I sent the link of it to players. I was trying to tempt into. It almost worked. Oh, is it good enough? Do I need to do more? I guess it wasn't good enough. It didn't get them to join. Oh, what am I doing here? It's probably be a lot easier with foam. Some sort of foam. Google Legions Imperialis stop motion. Let's see. See if I can find this real quick. Okay. Round 2. I'm gonna have to check that out. Dad, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a minute. Yeah, I need to do that. I need to do a more in-depth how to play. Well, that probably took a lot of work to make stop motion battle report. That is a lot of work. I can see why people wouldn't want to repeat that process. It looks like it's only a 9-minute video too, and even then, that's probably what 9 times 60 photos. Probably more. Probably more than one photo per second. I don't know, but that's thousands of at least 1,000 photos, probably more. So you put transfers on your 6 Knights of Tyrannus. They look fantastic. Awesome. Mm. Isn't an in-depth newbie version on YouTube? There's the one video from like when the game first came out that kind of talked about it, and I watched that thinking, "Oh, how could I do this?" And I did not come up with a way. I did not come up with the answer. How can I do this where it tells you how to play the game? So I've got like the 3-part how to play that aren't really very well done, and then there's the how to play your opponent's first game, which implies that you have played your own first game. So must have misread that one. Month 5 of 3D printing table terrain for Siege of Magma City. Ooh, sounds fun. I need to see that. Knights Tyrannus, of course, or 6 Questors. Okay. Let's get just a little bit of a thing here. New Titans assembled and waiting for airbrush session. Nice. Yeah, I'm running out of summer. I'm running out of the summer heat to finish this. Because of course I still have to finish the tiles, the street tiles and everything. But really, the street tiles are like 90% done, probably. It's the I think I might tweak the roads a little, but I just have to put a wash on all of the metallic parts, and then maybe do a bit of some brown here and there on the roads. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe a little bit of a dry brush on the crater parts, but that'd really be it. It's the plaza tiles that I have a lot to do on because I still have to like do all of the all I've done on the plaza tiles is the sandstone, and what I need to do for them is I need to do all of the gray stone, but I also need to do all of the metal that's in, give it like bronze or whatever. You need to make a short of this table. Already looks fantastic. Yeah, no, we need to see what you need to see what you're working on there. You've been 3D printing terrain for 5 or 6 months. We of course need to see that pictures, or you're a big liar. And I can't be jealous if you're a liar. Olden Demon does an excellent how to start Legions video. Olden Demon, I'm not familiar with that one. The one I'm thinking of is oh man, I can't remember the guy's name. Maybe it is Olden Demon. I don't know. It's a big dude with a beard. But he does a bunch of other stuff that's not Warhammer at all. New Titans Assembly and waiting. Yeah. The reason me and AJ have so many Titans and Knights is we were originally just going to play Adeptus Titanicus, but yeah, I figured as much. Legions Imperialis. Have you heard of it? Never heard of it. What's that like? Let me put this down and start Legions Imperialis. Siege of Magma City came out in the Rise of the Dark Mechanicum, and it is an epic campaign like the one I'm doing. So, this book here, this lovely little book here, has Siege of Magma City in it. The Grand Clash of Magma City. And in it, your attack, there's a lava bed here and here. You're on what is 120 inches? 10 feet? You're on a 10 by 8 table, or is it a 10 by 6? I think it's a 10 by 6 table, which is massive. That's not 6. Is it? 32? 17? Yep. You're in a 10 by 6 table, and the attacker has to come through here, right? And they've got a defender's deployment zone here, here, and here. Now, the defender starts with, let's see here. There's a couple of mission-specific things. So the defender has... They deploy within any of the following objective zones. The refinery storage vats, that is here on the left. The Prytanium entrance and the Typhoon garrison cloister. So there's the entrance and the garrison cloister. At least one formation per defending player, because it's multiple. It could be multiple players. Must be deployed within the garrison cluster, and at least one formation per 2 defending players, rounding up, must be deployed within the entrance. So if you have 2 players, you need at least 1 here. But if you have 4 players, you need at least 2 formations here. This can be multiple formations from the same player, so long as the total number is needed is met. The attackers deploy there anywhere within the lava bed or the causeway beachhead. So this is the causeway and this is the causeway beachhead. Secondary objectives are not used. Set of mission objective markers. This mission uses 4 conquest areas, which must be controlled to secure the victory. The beachhead, the garrison cluster, beachhead, garrison, each award victory points at the end of each round. The refinery storage vats and the Pentarium entrance only award victory points at the end of the game. So it's pretty much whoever has that. And then the attacking detachment. Oh, wait. So whenever an attacking detachment is destroyed, you place it to the side. At the start of the round, if an attacking player has 3 or more destroyed detachments set aside, they may return them all to the battlefield. It forms a new formation. It's an ad hoc formation, no special rules. Does not have to match a formation from any army list. Returning detachments are given orders as if they were in reserve and move onto the battlefield from the attacker's battlefield edge. If the detachment can enter reserve using deep strike rules, they may do so. Otherwise, must move on from the battlefield edge. The battlefield edge includes these lava beds. And I don't see where it is. Oh, so there's pyramid defenses. So there's defense guns. You get you can set up 4 of them across the Pentarium entrance and the garrison cloister conquest areas. They're no bigger than a 2x2 area with a garrison number of 0. Somewhere on here it says that the defenders have more points, I think. I think there's supposed to be a larger army. Or am I misremembering it? I might have made that up. I might have made that up. I don't know. We tried to play this. Me and Crayola, last year, just before I started chemo. We got through the first 2 or 3 turns. I had filmed it and everything. And then I was doing shorts on it. And then I started my chemotherapy and I deleted the videos. In my head, I was like, I'm never going to finish this battle report. I'm never going to upload these turns that we've already done. And it might have been questionable at the time if I was even going to continue playing Warhammer. Chemo messed me up. All right, you guys were saying stuff while I was doing all that, while I was explaining that. So let's see. Interested in the literature and want to know more? Don't have a book yet. There's a book. What are you talking about? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Good joke. Your main inspiration for that table was the Horus Heresy book about Mechanicum. Okay. Spiderbots. It was the last chance for humanity to stop fearing new tech and to start innovating. Magma City's fall is arguably the greatest loss of the heresy. Oof. More spider bots. What files are you using? In your case, it'll be a 6x4. Yeah, we were using a 6x4 table too, but we were going lengthwise, and we did something a little bit different. So it was me attacking them, except I wasn't going to. And at the time, they had like 8,000 points, and I only had a Reaver and a Warhound. Right, this was before I got more Warhounds, before I got the War Master, the Warlord, the Warlord Sinister, and the Direwolf. It was just a Reaver and Warhound. But and I had aircraft and they didn't, and it was only like 6 lightning fighters, and the 2 Marauder Colossuses, which is a lot of aircraft really. But the way we were playing was gonna be that I had full respawns. They had more points than me, so maybe that's where I'm thinking that you're supposed to have more points as a defender. I wasn't going to get any of my Titans back, and I wasn't going to get any aircraft back. And so Crayola was controlling all of the Mechanicum, the Knights, and the Mechanicum, and the Dark Mechanicum. And Zilla was controlling all of the Solar Auxiliary. So I changed things up a little bit because it's a 6x4. And I said, all right, this objective over here is a shield generator. I can't move vehicles past this point in front of it. So I have to go in and get it with my infantry. And that building there is going to be that building right up front against me is your garrison. And as long as that's standing, all of the Solar Auxiliary stuff comes back into play behind it. So what would happen is Zilla kept getting all of his stuff and rushing it forward, and I had to destroy that building and I had to destroy the other building behind it. And it was behind it and on the opposite side of it. They were both on sides. And we got far enough that I destroyed the building and his stuff wasn't spawning anymore. But you got to remember, everything else was Mechanicum or Knights and a single Titan. And Mechanicum doesn't have range. They've got the Karachnos, and that's it, right? Like 30-inch range. And then the Knights had a little bit of range, but a lot of that's not really range. And then the Titans have, that Titan in particular only had 20 range. So like everything was very short range. So the entire time, it was like 3 turns for me, and we were going to go to 8 turns or something. It was 3 turns of me trying to get that first building, and I don't remember how I blew it up. I have no idea how I blew it up. Can't tell you in the slightest. And they had turrets. They had like 4 turrets all over the place too, and I had to destroy. Those were popping my tanks everywhere. I probably killed it with Hellhammers. Anyway, by that point, all of the short range stuff, the Dark Mechanicum stuff that had spawned in the back of the table was coming up to the front. And I was probably only a couple of turns away from just destroying everything that was left on the table, because like there was no reserve, there was nothing held in defense. It was all just slowly coming up and getting closer to me. And it was coming up slow too, because they would keep advancing it like, oh, we'll move and shoot. Yeah, you're going to move 7 inches and then you're going to shoot 15 inches, and then there's nothing in range for them. You need to move a lot faster than that. But yeah, that was our attempt at a Magma City. We will try it again later. Right now we got this mega battle to finish still, and it's looking good. It's looking like it's a fun time. It's just going to be different because like this time, that was going to be loyalists attacking traitors. Right now it's traitors attacking loyalists, and I like the way we're doing this. But I think like if there's going to be respawns like that, I think no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll do it this way. It'll be good. Let's see. What I missed? What were you guys saying? Next army is Dark Mechanicum. Fun. Using Concentrarum set from my mini factory sets. I don't recall seeing that one. Spent a total like $120 for all the files. Ooh, that's before you start printing it all. Yeah, I really want to see your table though. Never really looked into HH. Need to start, I think. 4 warlords, 5 reavers, 8 warhounds, something like 40 knights, 4,000 points of mechanicum, and 4,000 points of Astartes. Good God. Is that all of your forces? I think I might still have you beat though. Maybe because I have 16,000 points total, but they don't work together because some are half of it's loyalist and half of it's church. No, 17. I've got 17,000 points. Oh my goodness, you've been doing this slightly less than me too, and you have quite a huge force. The buildings, man, I'd be so much further along if I hadn't spent the last month and a half on buildings and tiles. But you gotta get them done eventually, so why not now? That's awesome. When I finish painting all my Titans, I'll only have 3 warhounds and 2 reavers. I need to catch up. I want more reavers. I want more warhounds. I don't know how many warlords I'd go. 10 warlords is an entire Titan death match. Well, for one team. I gotta say, I'm blessed to have you guys in here chatting and talking about your stuff. This is great. This is fantastic. Love the live streams. I love having you guys, man. As long as I've got fans like you, I will continue doing these live streams. I tell you, at one point in time, I don't think I really ever thought that I would be doing stuff like this. Uh, I don't think I thought live streams were going to be for me. Uh, so yeah, they're hit and miss. Sometimes they're better. Sometimes it's just me in here for a while without anybody to talk to. Music will be right back. Got an ad going on. Oh, I guess we finished that. I guess we finished that video. Let's do this one maybe. Oh, unmute it. There we go. Before this project, he was printing and painting table for BattleTech for 6 months. Full 6x4 city table. And fantastic files from Thunderhead Studio. Man, it sounds like you just crank this stuff out, man. That is amazing. How much time do you think you spend on all of it? I what era of BattleTech do you play? I'm quite proud of how much I've gotten done. And then I see people that have gotten more done, and I'm not saying like I'm jealous, but I'm like, man, how did you have? I thought I was doing great on time and everything. How do you get so much done? Are you just quicker, or have you spent a lot more time on it? New releases you want to try. What's that must be a BattleTech stuff. Again, all my BattleTech is still in the box, undone. I thought Zilla would like playing it, and I showed it to him, and he was like, "Cool," and he walked off, and I was like, "Oh, well, I guess we're not doing that one then." Which is weird, you know. He likes Godzilla, so in my mind, like, I know Godzilla's not related to it, but like those are those are fandoms that are around the same, like, similar ages and stuff. In my head, at least. You know, like if somebody tells you, "Oh, I really like X and Y," you can think, "Oh, then they're probably about to say Z," and usually they do. And then with that, it's like, nope. Come on. For new releases, you want to try? Only a filthy casual and play Alpha Strike. Auto play cards are very good. Oh. Has anyone tried that card game for Gundam? So, are you a cleaner or filthy sphere player? Clanner. Oh, unrelated. I keep meaning to say something about this. I found somebody was trying to sell their Legions Imperialis stuff that they didn't want online, and I might be getting some very used and discounted stuff, all for solar. You know, so unfortunately, that does mean that I will have more stuff to work on, but good discount. So some flyers, some Arvis lighters, some lightning fighters, and I think 4 more Arvis lighters is enough for my air wing assault detachment. Of course, you know, GW could come out with a new like formation and be like, "Oh, you need 2 whole boxes," and then I'll be upset. But you know, so I'm thinking 4 of them I'll paint to be, you know, proper models, and then the other 4 I will turn into crashed planes and stuff, right? The lightning fighters, I might just hand those to Zilla and be like, "Here you go, you can paint these." I think some of them I'll make into terrain though. Make them into terrain for just like I do the Arvis sliders. And then I got a pack's worth of Infernus and Valdors. Always useful to have. I only got the 1 pack worth, and you know, more of them would be useful. And then I think it's 2 infantry boxes, which is convenient because that's what I was looking to get. But he did like start to paint. I think he airbrush primed them, and then he started to paint them, and I might have to paint over them, you know, so that they come out looking right. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that comes out. In your experience, you do not need 16 Arvis lighters. Well, no, I don't, because that's also 160 points of Arvis lighters. Is it 160? Are they 10 points apiece still? Did they change that? Let's see. But it transports 32 bases of infantry. No, it's 12 points. So 12 times 16. Like 200 points. I can't do math right now. No, no, you probably don't need 16 Arvis lighters, but watch them make some air assault formation that requires 16 Arvis lighters. You know, yeah, that'd be kind of unfortunate for me. And that I had them and then I ruined them. Conrad Cruz? Yeah, you're talking about Conrad Cruz. I remember last week now. Last week's conversation on Conrad Cruz. What we're playing in October. Oh, yeah. Oh, you guys. I would hope we're playing Legions of Imperialis. How many points? I think it gives me something to work for to getting my stuff finished. Dad, where'd you go? You gotta answer my question, Dad. He must have gone out to get milk. All right, so over here, I'm just building this up. So I'm layering it. We got, this is about one sprue lower, and this is, roughly one sprue lower. That'll come down. I'll probably maybe have a drop there. It doesn't need to be completely perfect, but maybe I'll do maybe I'll, and it'll kind of, what we'll kind of see is like a big drop here, but then like a slope here, a little bit more of a slope, and then a drop. So maybe I'll come a bit more here and here, and then I'll just let that drop. I feel like I'm designing mountains all the time. Do what I do and just bring 3K of Titans with 1,000 points of allies, and some of those allies being more Titans. What did they want to do? Let's go here. Let's build up that side. I just told you guys what my plan was, and then I forgot what my plan is. So now I'm making up a whole new plan. So anything I just said, unless you guys remember what it is and tell me what it is before I mess this all up, I don't remember it. That plan might as well not exist. Oilers Mechanic comes from a Griffin 4. Let's do it right there. Traders Alpha Legion. Get something down in there. Okay, I'm just gonna drop it in. Oh, I like that. I like that right there. Get that a little bit right there. Perfect. All right. I am not sure yet what I'm going to do with this mesh here where there's that big gap down there. Because what I don't want to have happen is I don't want there to be a bunch of... I don't want there to be a huge gap there where it's like, oh yeah, you couldn't reach that with your brush, so now there's just white paint down there. I'm hoping that I can avoid that somehow, but I haven't figured out yet how that sum is going to be. You made a shirt with all your forces? That feels like it'd be an incredibly painful shirt to wear. A shirt made out of plastic models. Spray paint. Yeah, I'm hoping spray paint gets in there. I'll probably just have to like really get the nozzle up close and just kind of fill it with spray paint. That's a lot of night households. You gotta show us. You gotta show us those. Just rust up the mesh a little bit of rust. I don't really have a recipe for rusting things up yet. Let's drop a little bit of glue in there. I'm just gonna wedge that in there for now and let that kind of dry as such. Oh, get out of there. Oh, that's bad. Oh. Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions, I've been wondering where you were. Come on.
Don't tell him anything. He knows everything.
I think Crayola's talking about me. What's up? No?
What?
I heard you saying something that might have been about me.
No. I said don't make comment talking to Mom about
okay.
Zilla. Don't tell him he knows everything.
Can I break that real quick?
Oh, I think the bus is here.
Is that going to be Star?
Yeah. Also,
what time does Zilla get off the bus now?
we got home at...
Oh, did my idea about how the bus work? Was that accurate?
I don't know. I need to call the transportation call. But when I looked at the bus schedule, it doesn't show it. So I don't know if it's because it's a house. But it shows the street that he's supposed to be on. And then the other roads. No, his driver was 30-ish minutes late today. So he came at like
What?
6:20.
What?
Yeah. And he said that because they're getting to the school too early and they can't get in, that the bus will come a little bit around like 6:20, 6:20-ish, give or take. So I was like, oh, now we can sleep till 5:30.
You don't need to be up at 6. Oh my goodness. David says hi.
Hello.
Scott says hi. Dark brown, then highlight was Zyra. Hey, Scott, you're gonna have to remind me that when I eventually have to paint this, or I'll try to write it down.
So I was like, well, the latest you could probably sleep in is about 5:30, 5:40, and I'll leave about 6.
Yeah. Let's break this a
which
little.
is much nicer than getting up at 5.
Yeah. He can. All right. So if the bus is going to be there at 6:20, give or take, then he can leave the house at 6:10, and he can
probably get up at like 5:40.
Wake up at 5:40, 5:50. Really, what he needs to do is he needs to master the art of the bus schedule. Comes really early for Zilla this year. So what he needs to do is he needs to get used to the idea of getting up and getting out the door.
Well, he's got to eat.
He's got to eat, yes, but it shouldn't take him 20 minutes. I mean, the alternative is he gets what I did when I was a little bit older than him is I would wake up, eat breakfast, do chores for my mom, and then I would be allowed to play on the computer for like an hour.
Yeah, what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't play on the computer anyway, so the computer is only for me, guys.
I'd rather him sleep. So.
Yeah, so, well, I was also, this was also like when I was in 10, 11, 12.
He's
yeah, this is when I was much older, so. Evil says spider bots. Okay, so everyone else said hi, Crayola. Evil says spider bots. She's laughing. I read that as Doorbell Brown. I was like, Doorbell Brown? I don't have that one. Doombull Brown. I don't think I have that one either. Spider bots are queen. Okay. She's smiling.
Is that the queen?
Yeah. Put some pictures of table on Discord. Awesome. Oh, let's look at those real quick.
The bus be here.
Where's Discord?
And then you're gonna need to check to see if our little list has football.
Okay.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah. All right. I'm seeing some nice Titans. I'm seeing. Oh wow, that is a nice collection of buildings. I like that. I like that a lot. Got a little L building there. You got some stuff going on top of that. Ooh, I like that building. I'm going to have to steal some of these from you. Not the ideas, the actual buildings. I need to come to your house, take these buildings, get on a plane, and fly them back to my house. I like that. What? Come look at these.
Well, I just heard come to your house, take your tokens, and leave.
No, take your buildings and leave.
Oh, that's good.
I'm not going to take his tokens.
Well, I don't
What
know.
am I going to do with his tokens?
I don't know. I don't know why I heard tokens.
Because you're wrong.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's a lot going on there. Oh, that's really good. That was Cuz's buildings. That's all the BattleTech stuff. I played a game on using some BattleTech buildings recently. That's a beautiful BattleTech layout. They do not have that. They do not have that at. You can play Legions of Imperialis on that. They don't have that at the store that I go to. They don't play it like that. If you guys want to see the buildings and stuff, the terrain that I was just looking at, it's all on Discord. It's all on the Discord. No, they don't have that there. I don't know how to glue this here. PVA glue, I guess. That's the wrong side. I'm thinking PVA glue for this. I mean, it might be a little weak, but I'll put some more stuff around the sides and such. I'll fill that in so it won't matter. Sprue goo, maybe? Will sprue goo hold wood to... I mean, it doesn't have to hold the wood to it. It just has to hold it to everything else. Scott Dagger, those pictures is how you get people, not me. Other people. Again, not me to hate you. Just saying. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm going to try some sprue goo here and see if this will work in holding this on. I'm thinking it might. The hard part for using the sprue goo is I have to kind of goop it out of there. And I put it on the wrong spot, so. figure if I just encase it in sprue goo, it doesn't need to stick to it because it's just going to stick to itself and it's just going to hold it up anyway. All right. That'll probably hold for now. It's like gray ice cream. Goopy gray ice cream. There we go. I'm confident in this. I'll just put that back in there. Save that for later. All right. No, those BattleTech tables are amazing. The BattleTech table, I played a game on some BattleTech table terrain the other day. We used like the mountains and the hills and stuff. The mountains and the trees, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool stuff. And they've got some buildings too that I think are BattleTech, but like none of it looked anything like what you were doing. It would be cheaper to buy printer and print than fly to Poland across the globe. Well, it's not about. And I was looking at somebody else's stuff. Evil Cuz's, I think it was Evil Cuz posted his Legions Imperialis terrain that is painted, and I don't want to paint mine anymore. I looked at his stuff and I don't want to paint it anymore. Yeah. Here he goes to Poland and we can get forward. Come to Poland to steal stuff, and then we can play our game. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure your stuff is steal worthy too, but I probably wouldn't do it just because it's different. Let me look at these. Those are cool. Yeah, it's all really cool stuff. It's not, I like that wall. It's not painted though, so I don't want to steal it. I'll wait till you finish it. I'll wait till you finish it and let you have your moment with it before I come. I like the use of the scattering around there too. A lot of lascan. Which side's the inside and which side's the outside? I guess this is the outside. Yeah, that's the outside. Okay, wait. No, you've got las cannons on both sides of the wall. What's going on? Well, you got las cannons on both sides of the wall. Oh, wait. Yeah, you do. I think you've got them. I think you've got part of the wall flipped. Maybe that's what the issue is. Spiderbot up on the wall. What is that supposed to be? Oh, that's a Mechanicum Titan. That's the top half of Mechanicum Titan that got cut off from the rest of the picture. It's okay. I'll paint mine. It's just. I'll still end up painting mine. It's just seeing a lot. They look yours look very good and everything, and it makes me dread having to put the work into actually finishing mine. I really like them, and you've got some interesting shapes and stuff in there that I need to make my own. I need to make some. I did a bunch of the buildings that my first box of terrain, I made it the way that the thing told me to. And my second box, I was like, let's make something different. And I think like half and half or something. I don't know. But I need to like put together some more stuff that is different and not quite exactly what they tell you to make. Because what they tell you to make doesn't really have a lot of depth to it and stuff. It's a bunch of squares. So yeah, I need to do it a little differently. All right, so I've got this slope done. I've got this slope. This is good here. Looking over here at this side, I like this bit of slope here. This will be a bit flatter over on this side, and that's fine. Actually, I do have. So I've got. So this is you guys. Somebody said it earlier, right? Somebody said that. Am I going to be putting gravel on it? I don't have a lot in this container. That's not nearly enough, but I have more. This container is technically this stuff and a little bit of this stuff. We got a bunch of this stuff, so that'll go on there. That'll go on there a bit, not everywhere, but in targeted patches. And I've got this stuff, right? And I want a couple slabs of this in some random places. It's almost too big for this stuff, but I feel like it still kind of works. It just wouldn't. It might have to hide the bottom of it. Like it's a bit too thick, right? Like that's too thick for these walls. So I have to do something different. Maybe I've got some thinner stuff. We have another box here. There's a few pieces in there. There's a few large pieces in there that are all not large pieces. There's a large amount of like broken pieces and stuff. Like that's a lot thinner and that works better, but it might be too thin. I might have more. Let's see what I got. I got one more. This one's got some thinner stuff in it. So let's use that. So I suppose over the years I've bought 3 containers of this stuff. All right, spend a lot of time looking at what others have done. Yeah, me too. You've spent less time looking at what others have done and more time actually doing your own stuff, though. I just love the ease of just slicing and printing complete buildings. No, I get it. Do your kids or neighbors have a sand pit? No, they don't. I just use this stuff. It's fine. That's what this stuff is for. To be fair, most of them I have finished recently. Usually I start painting those Knights and Titans sometimes 2 years ago, then did part a year ago, and then finally finished months ago. Get some plaster of Paris or casting plaster, make some thin sheets of it and smash it with a hammer. Yeah, no, that'd work. That'd be good. I think I see some in here that are the right size, so I'm gonna just use that. Yeah. I don't want to go. So, do we have any plaster? We probably don't have any plaster. So yeah, I'll just use that stuff. That's good. So that'll go here. There'll be a little bit up here and stuff. Give it some different depth and such. And then I'm trying to decide: do I still want this to go up high? Evil, you were trying to tell me something. Pasta would be a bad idea. Got it. You were trying to tell me something else, something not pasta related. Earlier, you said think about gameplay use or something like that, right? What is that related? How was that related to me having a hill here? What was that related to? Help me out here, because I want your feedback before I do something that I can't undo. Yeah, dealing that bit with it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Gonna love it. Yeah, you will want plenty of space for tanks. Yeah, I mean tanks will be able to come up here. Yeah, okay. So having a slope, you weren't talking about having a slope. You were probably talking about like when I was saying it was probably about like when I was thinking about putting this here, but I wouldn't be putting this here. I'd like have it right, so it'd be like that or something, like sticking out or something. But you still wouldn't be able to climb over it. So it'd probably be like 3 pieces. Yeah, 3 pieces to make a half, and it'd be coming out a little bit. Yeah, probably not. Four good ideas. We use spackle. They just don't have those things. Spackle is a good call. Yeah, I just don't have those things to do that with, though, is the issue. I don't have spackle and I don't have plaster. I have what I have, and I'm going to use that. If I needed to do something, where I needed that stuff, I could see myself going to get that. But since I'm not doing that, I'm just gonna keep going. You want to get a whole detachment of tanks on it, probably. Yeah, probably. Dude, I wiped out a whole detachment of tanks. It makes it harder to hate a filthy traitor such as yourself, Scott. This did not come up here. I'm gonna have to deal with that tomorrow. I had a piece over here. Oh, another thing I thought about. I thought about taking some of this, right? And having it like in here somewhere and cutting it up and stuff. And then so it looks like it fell down or whatever. And is now like, in the rubble and stuff. Like, if it was in here and it kind of came down, whatever. That could be a good idea, yeah. There's some hints about Custodes coming to LI. Any hopes? Okay, so Custodes are coming to LI, guys. Let's real quick, let's take a pause from this. Because I love this topic. When they started, they said anything from Age of Darkness, anything from Horus Heresy game, they would like to see in Legions Imperialis. Custodes, why don't we have Custodes already? Well, you gotta time the release. You gotta time the release so that it, you've got other releases that you need to worry about for other games. And you don't, the people spending money on Legions Imperialis, they're going to spend money on Legions Imperialis, and you want to, you can't just be like, hey, Legions Imperialis, here's all your releases for the next 6 years that we could space out over 6 years. Here's all of them at once. Now you've got you've got no money to spend, and you burn out right away, right? Custodes, finishing the Custodes before in Horus Heresy, before you put them into Legions Imperialis, just makes sense. Everyone's got their Horus Heresy Custodes, and now they're like, oh man, what else do I do? Oh, they're coming out for Legions Imperialis. Let me get them there too. You get some people that are maybe only going to Horus Heresy because they want Custodes and they can't get them in Legions Imperialis, so they get them in Horus Heresy. But now they've already bought them, but now they can get them in Legions Imperialis. So they trade off that army on eBay, and then they get this army. It makes sense to wait on that, right? We didn't get Saturnine before Horus Heresy. We got Saturnine after Horus Heresy. It just takes time, right? Let me see. You want to hold? Does make it harder to hate. Okay. You could just burst your drywall and then cover it with a picture of furniture. That's not a bad idea, Scott. I could do that. There are some hints. I missed that part. Okay. The collapsed walls in the ruin set. There are collapsed walls. No, there's no collapse. Oh, wait. There is. Okay, so there's this little thing here, right? And I'll probably use some of these. There's that one, that one. There's this one, but that's got barrels and stuff in it, and I don't think I'll use that one. Or maybe I will. I don't know. And then where's the other one? And then there's this. This isn't collapsed walls though. This is collapsed. Roof. And there's 1, 2, 3. That one might be walls. We can use that and this. I think that's wall. Yeah, you're right. There is collapsed wall. The fun thing about these two here is if you flip it over, they're reversible. That's now a different piece. So you can paint them either side. But yeah. Demons first, and maybe we would get them before HH. We could, but demons are in the new Custodes book. And I think there's supposed to be like a Custodes versus demons thing going on Prospero or whatever. So I read something and it was saying about how when Horus sent the wolves to Prospero to arrest Magnus, the Custodes went, but they were doing something different, and they were dealing with demons on Prospero. Need to print some demons. No, just playing HH is not the same as playing demons and Custodes in Legions Imperialis. In HH, I probably have 20 models total. In Legions Imperialis, I have 20 tanks alone. I love to play plastic armature. Yeah, easy 30 to buy. Yeah, no, we need plastic armatures. That's like they're running out of things to convert from resin to plastic, and armatures like so maybe the warlord and the not the warlord, the Sinistratum and the Colossus and the Pathfinder Marauders. Those have resin parts to them, and then there might be like there's the Warhound. There's 2 Warhound weapons that are still resin, and then I think there's still 2 resin top hat carapace ones for the armature. No, 3. Forgot about the warp missiles. There's like the Volkite and the Graviton on the top on the head, but the carapace. But then there's also the warp missiles. And I think they might be done with the Warlords. I don't remember. I think the Warlords might be done. Dude, does anyone have Tyranids? I was gonna give Star some Tyranids because she likes the alien, the look of the alien. She thinks they're all cute. Yeah, Ruined Building Hill is looking pretty sweet. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm thinking, well, in addition to those other pieces, but I'm thinking I could take this and I could hack this up and kind of have a couple of bits of it, or maybe I don't. Maybe I don't worry about that and I just use this. So I use this. I could use this and this, and I could use a piece or 2 of this stuff. Which way is supposed to be the top on that? I think it goes that way. It might go that way. Oh, here. Let's look at this. Nope, that doesn't help. That does not answer my question whatsoever. Look at this. So oh yeah, it goes that way. It kind of doesn't look right. I'll put it right there. And then I need to cut that all off, I guess. I'll put that there. Yeah. All right. Let's space these out real quick and see how it looks. So I figured I can't tell from this bit here and that how that looks. Can't tell what the top's supposed to be, but this arch is clearly arching at the top. So this is the bottom and this is the higher floor. Good night, Dad. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Thanks for showing us the pictures too. Putting some pillars in the building will make it look more continuous. In what way? Oh, inside? Ooh. I don't know if I was thinking about that. But yeah, no, I should definitely do that. Put some of these ruined pillars in there. Just awesome Titan. Oh yeah. He live streams. He live streams playing Magic, but also Dark Tide. If anyone's interested in watching that. I don't think he live streams when I live stream, so I'm not worried about that. So let's see. I do that like this. I mean, I can almost go there too. And then it would kind of, add a bit of dimension to it and stuff. Yeah. I like the way that looks. Yeah. Here, let me bring you guys down. Look at that. Look at that. Whoops. Oops, I'm not looking at the right thing. I was busy looking at it with my eyes and not with my. Yeah. I think that looks cool. And then let's see the Uki. Yeah, I think it looks good. What vehicle? Um. Oh, I missed one. Like, why won't this cut? Right, so this piece here could kind of go anywhere, really. And I can do like this up on the top or something. I don't like the. I don't really like the barrels part of it, but actually, I like it like that. What I'll need to do is I'll need to start putting barrels on top of my buildings so that there's an explanation as to why there's barrels collapsing onto this building. Check the Discord. That is the majority of my collection, not including all the terrain and any blueberries you've painted. I'm not doing team on them. I'm giving them a camouflage paint job. Urban or country? We'll do David. British style. British Army style. Put this over here. Well, no, I still need to figure out. So those go on the inside. So it needs to be these things. So let's. Let's see here. I wonder. I'm going to need to do little bits here and there for showing the support. So I'm still going to need to do that. But I'm thinking these interior pillars, what I need to do see, those would be exterior. It looks like there's just a little bit of the the window sticking there is what that is. It looks like that, right? So that's clearly connecting there. But I think no, never mind. I thought that there was, so if I do it, those are exterior also. Okay. So maybe, so I need to, I mean, how would the interior look? How would the interior pillars look? I could glue that there now. This can get glued on top of whatever I do. And then that can be glued just like these things are. So this doesn't need to wait anymore. What is supposed to be going on with this thing? I guess it looks kind of like that. Similar to it, I guess. So, this. Probably do it like that. Gonna go for that. And then I'll need to, Yeah, I don't think I want to use any of these for the pillars on the inside. And I'd like to have pillars on the inside. I just don't think any of this really works for it. As far as how they made it. Difficult to put any scale. See if I caught everything. Here's the wall I wanted to make more interesting. Add a broken pillar to go higher than the wall. Which area was that I was talking about? I don't remember what we were talking about. Yeah, I don't remember what we were talking about. I need to put a pillar here. I might do one there. I might. Nah. Or I might just do a pillar here and then have this. Oh, yeah. So I'll do it like that. I'm going to make it look very busted there. And then I need to do a pillar there and a pillar there and here. I need pillars on the outside. I need pillars here, here, and here. And then we'll be set on that. I might put a pillar here on top of everything else, or kind of embedded into the rubble, so that it, it's collapsed in there still. This is a very precise measurement right there. Yeah. 3D print a couple of vehicles and try. It looks good now. Very good. All right. So now I just gotta figure. I'm gonna have to figure out which ones I'm doing for that later. Let's work on these. These are good. Hold on. I want to see something. Never mind. Didn't work. Or it might work. It might work for that. Pillars inside and outside. You get loads of them. Yeah, I just don't. None of them really work for being strictly interior pillars. Like I might put one. On there. We'll see how it goes. Got a bunch of ideas for him. Barbecue skewers will work. They fit better than the basic set. I don't know what you guys are talking about. The pillars? Somebody's looking for Crayola. Chop up some longer sprue sections. Yeah, I could do that. I don't need it going up too high or anything, just something like that or something. Like a little standing. You can't see how tall I'm saying. Yeah. Something like that tall or something. Everything else fell around it, kind of looking thing. Tell you that last major order on Helldivers, That was David's not here. Or at least he hasn't posted in a while. Yeah, I think so. All right. So as we're looking at it, right? As we're looking at it, you can see they got this bit here, right? And that's clearly window, so that's exterior, and that's probably what goes on the inside of these corners and stuff, right? So that's not what it's gonna look like on the inside. But then you got this stuff here, and like, okay, so that's the outside building though, right? Like that's right there, right? That's meant to be the outside. So I don't think either of those works for the inside interior pillars. So I mean, well, that leaves me with some I-beams. Like, how do they decorate the insides of these things? I got some I-beams that we can use. Here, right here. I've got this stuff, you know, that could work. We could use that. Something, I don't know. If I use the I-beam though, if I use the I-beams, because it wouldn't be just one of them is going to look out of place, right? So I'd have to put a couple of them in to try to give it a good idea, to give it a good to give it repetition, right? So that it gives you the idea that it makes it look natural. One looks out of place. One looks like, well, why is that one thing there? You find one bolt shell casing in a battlefield, and you're wondering, who shot one bolt gun round. Everything else was done with las rifles or something. It just kind of feels weird. If there's one bolt gun, then there should be more. Even if only one guy had the bolt gun, you'd either find the gun or you'd find a bunch more ammo. That would tell you that the commissar only got one shot off. They wouldn't need to be cleaned up really either. You could just snap some up to flatten the bottoms. For sprue? I'm assuming you're talking about sprue for that. Chop up some longer section, sprue sections. Yes, I'm assuming you're talking about sprue still. Use your imagination. I-beam will work. Yeah, I'm thinking I-beam. And maybe what I'll do is I'll kind of like, I'll mangle it a bit like all these other spots. But then I'm thinking I'll put like I'll fill it with like this, right? Let's see. So I'll fill it with like this. All right, this one doesn't fit, but I'll find something to fill it with. You can't really tell. So this is just a thick piece of plastic, right? But I'll fill it up, and I'll mangle this, and I'll mangle this, and they won't be mangled together, and it'll kind of give it like a, it'll give it like a look like it's something around it, some plastic card. Put some heat over some and mangle it. Yeah, mangle it up. Yeah, we're thinking the same thing here because I was saying mangling before I even noticed that you had said to mangle it. So I think I'll use this one. I think I'll do that. Maybe not. Yeah, it's kind of big. And it's just gonna stick it a little bit out of the ground. Or maybe I do. Or maybe I do use this stuff. It would be, you know what it would be? It would be this. This is how it would look on the inside. It would be columns. They'd have columns on the inside. I need to make columns. I don't think I have anything to make columns. I have to take some columns from here. There's probably a few columns on this thing. Yeah. 1, 2. Literally a few. A couple. Literally a couple. 3, 4. Got 4 columns I can work with. I'll figure it out. It'll come to me. We'll get there. The columns? What did I find? Columns? I found columns. Dry fit a load of stuff. Play around with it. Yeah. I'll test out a whole bunch of stuff. I'm thinking, I like the column idea, but I don't have a lot of columns. I'm going to have to, I feel like I'd have to make something or mold some. Probably can't be too hard. I put a close-up of some of the ruins you finished on Discord and some other random stuff. Remember, support beams would bend and distort when the building came down. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, whose Mechanicum army is that? Oh, it's not. It's Solar Auxiliary. Very nice. It's Cuz's. Are they bound to those Dark Mechanicum guys? Because they look like they're the same colors. Bunch of Axemen. A lot of Axemen. What is that supposed to be? Is that a... It looks like a Malcador, but with an Infernus. Did you kit bash that? All right, I see these ruins. Is it? I'm guessing this is what you're talking about here. Oh, looks like some blew the bottom out of it. Is it under general? Oh, who else been joining today? Oh, Sturgeon? Oh, Cut. Oh, hey. This is your first time in here. All right, cool. All right. Get me back to the live stream, please. Yeah, they're converted. Look great. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, your buildings look great. I'm thinking, the more I think about it, I mean, it'd just be simpler just to put the pillars that would normally probably go on the outside on the inside. I might just do that. Because it's going to be a lot of work to try to do the columns. And while we have columns on this kit, like, I'd still need the other 2 sides, and they just don't. I could do like an entire thing. I use all 4 of them and to make the column, and then I'd not have a column for the rest of the kit, you know? So maybe I'll just do the outside. I'm gonna play around with it, guys. I'm gonna play around with it. I could cast loads. I could. Don't know how, but I could figure it out. I've seen videos. I've got ideas on how to do it. Can't be too hard. You know what I could do? Where is it? There it is. I mean, it almost just looks like a wire bundle, right? You know what could work? So if you look at it, it's almost just a wire bundle, right? I don't have a thick enough one. But if I had that thickness of... If I had one that was that thick, and that might be the right thickness, and I just glued that around something, I could make a pillar that looks pretty much the same. And I'd only make one. I'd make one pillar and I'd put it in there and I'd be like, there, it's done. I'd make one long pillar and then I'd break it into a few sections and then I'd have that sticking out. And I'd be done. I probably need a thicker circle thing. Yeah, right there. That one. Probably make it out of green stuff. I'll just do that. Tube of silicone. Cast loads of parts. All you need for Play-Doh. Or Play-Doh, yeah. Put 4 together. Yeah, I kind of feel like I need 3 or 4. And then I need to either put them like here. Nope. I need to put them here, here, and here. I need 3. So we go here, here, and here. Because that's where it meets there to there to there. So it'd be the center. Couldn't have one here because it'd be there. It'd be that spot is busted. You know, never mind. Thought I had something. But I do not. Never mind. Interior wall? What about interior walls? They came down. They're all collapsed. I don't know what I'm going to do about interior wall. That's what all the rubble is. For the individual room. Yeah, no, those rooms did not make it. Don't know what to tell you, man. You're going to need a whole new... you're going to need a crew to come in and take all this rubble out. You're going to need, honestly, just bring down all the walls and just start from scratch. Interior rooms are gone. I don't know. Should I do interior rooms? What would I even do with them? I mean, presumably they're all under the rubble. Those individual rooms. I forgot to drink some juice. Yeah, well, I mean, in that case, where's the grand piano and the footlockers and everything? Like, I don't know. That's what all this stuff. Here's your interior walls. Some assembly required. I mean, what would it be? Just some flapping, even small lines of rubble. Yeah. Little slight buildups here and there. Oh, we finished that one? Okay. There we go. Where'd they go? This way? All right, so that can go there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and actually put it there. Put it right there. Give me a little bit of room to hide some of that with rubble. You know what? Crayola asked me a question earlier, and I didn't think I could answer it until we finished the live stream, but I forgot that we are streaming off of the old phone, so I can, in fact, look it up. All right. To the best of my knowledge, the answer to our question is yes. All right. Let's do this. You need some stairs or something. Yeah, stairs. These are stairs. Going up. Presumably, there would have been another staircase coming up to this floor here, and it is gone. You can probably make more stairs. I have more stairs up here that have it look different. And it doesn't look like it's too to do. To repeat that pattern. I got that L beam. I think this piece looks well, yeah. I mean, to some extent, this piece looks very much like it. It's just a little bit too big, though. Somewhere there's an L beam over here. I've got a piece that I can use for it. Yeah. Just to have something on the other side that kind of looks like, you know, somewhere higher up there was more stairs or something. I don't know. It's a 3D printer supports for rubble, etc. Yeah. I don't have a 3D printer. Could use something like that. All right. The idea was that this would go here. I don't know what that's supposed to connect to. I don't understand what that's supposed to appear as. why does it have that angle to it? It doesn't make sense. This piece here, this little guy, looks like, you just use the box. It's easier to point to things. All right. So this thing here, right? This is facing the right way. This bit here looks like this middle section of this, right? And this piece here looks like this. That part there, right? That part right there looks like, this part here, because it's of that layer, the way that layer goes. That's what that looks like. It doesn't look very clear on this picture to here. It's a little bit better, like with this, right? Like as you guys see it, that's the trim that would be up here, right? Down there, right? Yeah. And then that bit there isn't quite that one. It's more like, that one it's like that, right? It's like this. That's the little thing there. So it's going up. Why is it, even on this one, it's slanted to the side, right? Like it's crashed that a bit. It's weird. It's weird. They keep doing that. Like both of those parts fell in that way where it's just, I don't know. Because it's not under it. It's like merged with it. Am I being too picky? Hey, how's it going, Juan? I don't think I said that right. They got mangled? Yeah, it just doesn't look. It's just because it's like it's. If this had fallen that way, right, at an angle, and then the other part fell on top of it, right, this will be on top of this. It's not. It's almost even, or at least would be crooked and something. Maybe it smashed through it, right? But like, it just isn't. It doesn't give me that idea the way it's flat like that. I would unclip all of the ruin set and take your time trying to make bits fit. Yeah, I should. I already know I want this here, though. I don't want it like that, though. That doesn't make any sense. It's going to go there. Or could it go here? Could go there. Could go there. Maybe I'll do that. Kind of like this here more. Fits in with the bit of ceiling there. So like maybe there was less stuff here because this is the balcony, not the balcony, the grand stairway. So there's not as much stuff to fall in. So maybe just only the roof fell down onto it. So I'll put this over here. I would do that. I would cut out all of the everything from the ruined tile set. But the thing is, I know I don't want to use much more of it. Um, I've kind of picked the pieces I wanted to use already. There were other pieces I thought about using, but oh no. Um, I like that. I like the way that looks. And that'll kind of sit on top of whatever rubble I've got in the area. So I'm not gonna. I should trim it still. This piece has a fun little. It's got like the door frame or something going on up here. I think that's kind of cool. So it'd be like the door to the from the staircase or whatever. Like when you go up the stairs to the very top, and you've got that little doorway that leads to the ceiling. So like the whole thing kind of came down, and like there it is. It's falling down into it all. When I saw that one, I knew I had to use it. I go something like that. Not quite. We go on top of some other stuff. So it might be a little elevated. Now I have to decide: do I want to go through? Do I still want to have it raised a little bit? I think I kind of do. Let's think. Over here, I need to have. So that's something I do need to do though. I need to put some pillars going up the sides, and that is where these guys are going to come into play. So I should probably clip a few of them to see. This is where I will need to clip a few things to see how they're going to fit. And I think I'll need. There's a couple different options. It looks like not a huge amount of options though. There's a couple. What's up? Hey.
Can you check the belt football?
Yeah, it's still on. Still on. Also, Big Papa's sending a message. But yeah, here, you can look at that.
Yeah, they do see the family day's been postponed.
Yeah, I saw that. All right. You're getting there. You're gonna quit now. Looking to see next week. I will look forward to showing you next week, because thanks for the help. Thanks for the feedback and everything. And thanks for being here with me and spending this time together. Everybody, do make sure you hit the thumbs up. If you haven't, for those of you that haven't, that are new here, do make sure you subscribe. And yeah, the thumbs up and the comments. Comments are king. Comments for the comment god. Likes for the like throne. And I'll see you next week. We're gonna keep going though. All right, so I'm gonna clip a few of these just so I can kind of see what they look like when we have them next to the big guy. Like clip a couple of different ones. There's at least two different styles for this interior pillar. I don't know if this one's different. So it looks like, man, that does look like it's at the. There's taller ones, but I don't think I need the taller ones. I think the taller ones are too tall. Watch me be entirely wrong and these ones be too short, and it's the taller ones that I need. That would be funny. Oh, Scott's logging off too. All right, Scott. See you next time.
Here's your food.
Hi.
Hi. They are fighting now. So.
Yeah, I heard all that. What's going on?
I feel like ever since
what you got going on?
Getting up super early for school, he's got grouchier.
All right, so it's just the two different types. It's just two different types of these. So we're just gonna clip another one of these. We'll use two of each, because I'm gonna need them for these end caps. Let's make sure that this is the right size. Actually,
While we're at it.
You gotta leave. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. Does that not fit? You know what? It might not fit because of that. Oh, well, that's weird. It doesn't fit because of this piece. So does it fit better over here then? Why can't I get you to fit? Oh, there we go. Is this seriously not going to fit? At least that makes sense. All right, well, was that the right size? Mostly. Yeah, it's the right size. Double check it on these other ones. Why does it fit just fine over there and not over there? Was I just holding it wrong? That's weird. I can't figure that out. Okay. All right, moving on. Moving right along. I think I've got a few different options for these. Nope, it's two different options again. So we'll just cut two of these off real quick and see what we're working with. I'm just going to cut one off and see what we're working with first. Because... Oh, well, this isn't going to be a problem at all. This is just going to snap in right there. Just like anything else. And it's not really going to care about the rest of it. So Oh goodness, but it's gonna care that I cut that off because now it doesn't want to do anything. Oh my eye. Why is it not? Because of this? This is a lot harder than I thought it would need to be. Okay. So let's trim this too, because I don't think I did that yet. So if I do this, it should just fit. Why does it not fit? It seriously won't fit because of that piece there, but it's fine on the other side. Something's wrong. All right. All right, we're going to cut down into this problem and get to the bottom of it. All right. I think we're there. I think we got it. It's weird that was an issue, but now it's not. I solved it. And I've got something neat that I'm going to do there. All right. I'm not going to worry about that one. Am I? Okay. I'm worrying. Yeah, I'm going to worry about it. Okay. Okay. I know what I'm going to do. Know what I'm going to do, guys? So, with that in mind, I need to take a break. So I'm going to end the stream. We're going to call it here for the day. I've got some things I've got to think over. I've got some pondering to do. I will see you all next time. This has been Eagle Spire Gaming. Thanks for flying by.